Like, the words that we say in our minds can completely change our mindset and make you believe something that isn't even the slightest bit true.
And you see yourself like skeleton, or you see yourself humongous. Like, I mean, physically, your mind like basically tricks you into believing it.
You know what's
so scary?
What I've learned about all of things regarding body, it has nothing to do with your body.
And that's why we're here, and that's why it says let's talk about it on this poster.
No.
Actually, it has a huge impact.
It takes a long time to fall in love with yourself more than it does to fall in love with somebody else.
It starts in your mind.
Didn't happen like that. It took me a minute to notice it. It was holding me back. It's time to move on to bigger things. Can't live in the past. Moving on to future me. I wonder who she will be. I can't help but think that there is something more to find, more to life than what I have right here, right now. Used to call it stable, now I call it stuck. Letting go, yeah, that's tough, but maybe it's all for the better and it's meant to be. Like it was always meant to be. It was always meant to be. Oh.
This podcast is for informational purposes only. Hosts Ash and Kenz are not mental health professionals. We share personal experiences, not professional advice. Topics may include sensitive subjects like mental health challenges, self-harm, and suicide, which may be intense for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised, especially for younger audiences. For personal concerns, please seek help from a licensed professional.
Hey guys, I'm Kenz.
And I'm Ash.
And this is Let's Talk About It.
So today we're talking about a very sensitive topic, and we said in our podcast before that we want to talk about stuff nobody really talks about and get into everything, be very raw, be very, very deep, and also share some of our personal stories. And today we are talking about eating disorders and body image. So I'm going to share a story of mine, so you might hear me talking a little bit more about how I dealt with an eating disorder called OFED, which stands for other feeding or eating disorder. And it started 7th and it ended in 10th, and I'm in the 11th grade now. So I'm going to share that with you guys, and Kensington's probably going to talk more on body image and just positivity and how she deals with that. So yeah,
I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being open and raw and brave for this episode, because I also know that this is something very personal and sensitive and really, really hard to talk about. And I think by doing this, I think that you're going to encourage so many of our listeners. So I just also wanted to say to all our listeners out there, if you're, going through a hard time right now, or you're feeling self-conscious about your body, we are here for you, and we want to let you know that you're loved and beautiful no matter what, and that everybody is different and everybody's beautiful just the way they are, and that, if you want some extra support, you can always reach out to a counselor, a doctor, a therapist, a psychiatrist, and you can always call 988 for 20% support. So just keep that in mind. But I think we should talk about this.
Let's talk about it. Yay.
Okay, so the first topic, there's so much.
We're going to cover a lot, guys.
We're going to cover a lot, so it's going to be intense.
A lot of definitions, too.
Yeah, a lot of, information stuff. But the first thing I really want to cover is body image and kind of how we see ourselves.
Yes.
Because I think as women, we can be so self-conscious of ourselves, and we repeat these lies to ourselves. And I know we were talking about, the lies that we tell ourselves. And I think I have definitely clocked myself. I've definitely said, horrible things to myself. Sometimes I am insecure about my body. But I think what I've learned throughout that process is that truly every single body is different. No one is going to look the same. It's like everyone has a unique fingerprint.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true with bodies. If we all looked the same and acted the same, it'd be a pretty boring world.
It'd be such a boring world.
It'd be such a boring world. And I think what I've also learned is to accept my body as it is, because it is constantly changing. It's constantly, I'm getting taller as I'm growing. I'm pretty short. I'm 5'1.5". But hey, I still got room to grow. I'm getting older. My body is actively changing, and even into our early adult, and even middle adult years, we're still changing.
Our body's still changing. Something that I learned at a very young age is about metabolisms, and I don't really know a lot about that.
I actually don't either.
I grew up with a fast metabolism, meaning that I don't know what it is, but I know basically, in just the simplest terms, it basically kept me skinny. I could eat anything I want, and I could not bloat. I could stay the same size. And that kind of got me into trouble, or just kind of started the comments coming, I grew up with my sister, obviously, my god sister, and I love them dearly. And they were, I was very much tinier than them, like, not in like a bad way at all. Well, I was also younger than them, but I was really tiny. And so it would just be like where everybody would be compared, kind of, and it would be like I would get comments like, oh, you could eat anything you want, or sometimes I'll get oh, you're gonna eat anything up you want, but in like 20 years when you're 40, it's gonna catch up to you, like this person's mom. And oh, you're upset because you're so skinny, you can't be upset that you're skinny.
Ashlyn, I'm so sorry, that's horrible.
Well, I mean, that's just the way it is, you know? So I grew up with a lot of those comments, and then also like the comments of oh, look at her, she's so skinny, she has the model body, like, I wish I still had that body. And you're probably like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're getting compliments from people, you know? Like, you're literally getting these amazing compliments about how good your body is, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of people telling me I'm skinny. That's not it. It's when you start growing up and you start changing, because you're hearing these comments when you're what, like 10, 7, 8, 11 years old, and now that you're 14, 13, and you're gaining weight, you're like, oh my god, I'm getting fat. And this becomes a fear of just not even being fat, just of gaining weight, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what started my eating disorder. So
That's really challenging.
I always loved my body because of the compliments I received, and I always like loved it, but then at the same time I would be so anxious sometimes that it wouldn't even be from my body image, let me start there, that my eating disorder started. It'd be from my anxiety, from how bad it was, I just want to eat. Or it'd be from most likely my body image. But it takes a while, and it takes a long time to fall in love with yourself more than it does to fall in love with somebody else. That's something I say to myself a lot. But you need
self-love is really hard.
Self-love is so important, and I do believe you need to take time to fall in love with yourself, 100%.
Absolutely. My mom was telling me this today. Treat yourself as a friend.
Yeah.
You know, you would never say to your friend,
Oh, yeah.
you don't look great today, or like, oh,
you
you're
look fat,
you're
look
looking
this,
rough
yeah.
today. You would never say that. You would affirm them and tell them the truth, that you are beautiful just the way you are. And we speak these lies to ourselves, and like we condemn ourselves so much because we're like, oh, it's in our own mind, it doesn't do anything.
No.
Actually, it has a huge impact. Like, the words that we say in our minds can completely change our mindset, which is why affirmations, why I stress that so much, is because when we say these positive words over and over again, even if at first we don't believe them, we'll start to believe them over time and realize that truth.
So we're going to go over two things. We have number one, which is more about body image, called body dysmorphia. And if you haven't heard it, here's my definition.
Here we go.
It's a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about their flaws and their appearance, worrying about specific areas of their bodies, avoiding looking in the mirror, or you look at the mirror a lot, putting a lot of effort to conceal your flaws, and picking at your skin to make it smoother, basically. This is a definition off of Google.
Yeah, this is also very general.
Very
so there
general.
could be
You
many
could look
different
it up.
forms of
Many
this. We are
different-
definitely
yes.
not licensed therapists or
No,
psychiatrists. We are two teenage girls talking about real experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
But this
So
is
don't take
also
our
a real
word.
thing.
Yes,
though. This
but-
is also a real thing.
So yes, so basically body dysmorphia is when it is a mental condition. Like you seriously look at yourself in the mirror and you either see yourself bone skin and you see yourself like skeleton, or you see yourself humongous. Like, physically your mind like basically tricks you into believing it.
You know what's
It's
so
scary.
interesting about this is what I've learned about all of things regarding body. It has nothing to do with your body. It's actually
mental.
starts
It
in your
head.
mind.
Exactly.
It starts in your mind, and I think that's something that I really learned that has kind of helped me have a better perspective on my
100%.
body and kind of helped me really embrace body positivity. So there's 4 main ones.
that we will be talking about.
And, there's probably more. And again, we're licensed, psychologists or therapists or anything.
So we're just going to talk about these 4 main ones that we
very
know
briefly.
most about, and that we can probably give you some intel on it.
So the first one is anorexia, and you may or may not have heard of this, but it's an eating disorder that causes people to weigh less than is considered healthy for their age and height, and usually that is by excessive weight loss. And some of those symptoms can include a change in body image, low body weight, extreme fear of gaining weight, exercise, excessive physical activity, denial of hunger, fixation of making food, abnormal or obsessive or ritualized eating behavior. So those are just a couple of the symptoms. And my mom was actually, when she was younger, diagnosed with anorexia, and she's very open about it. And I love you so much. But when she was about, my age, so she was our age, basically, 16, 17. And she went through a really, really tough eating disorder, anorexia. And she had to be hospitalized, and she had to miss, part of her junior year, which is a really crucial, time. And I think she's been just such a source of encouragement to show me that, your challenges don't define you, and you can become stronger because of those things. And so just wanted to mention that quickly. I'll get
we'll get more into it. And hearing Miss Jode's story really helped me. Because we were just talking about ideas over Zoom. Honestly, nobody really knows that I had an eating disorder. I don't even think, I've said it to my mom before. So I think it's more of a fact of, just hearing, Kensington's mom just talk about it was so peaceful and, in my mind. And I was like, oh, this happened to other people. Okay, it's not just in...
It's not just,
it's not just in the shows. I can say this, this is normal. Yeah. So that really helped me. So love to you and thank you to you.
You want to talk about the next one?
Next we have bulimia, and basically this has probably nothing to do with it, but I remember in 7th grade my favorite movie, it's still my favorite movie now, is Perks of Being a Wallflower. And Sam, who's played by Emma Watson, goes, I'm a bulimist. And I researched, I was like, what the hell is a bulimist? Where can we find that? And it stems from the word, obviously, bulimia, and I think it's a word that they made up, and it's because I think the character might have had obviously an eating disorder, but anyway, getting on to that. Basically, bulimia is an eating disorder which in a person has regular episodes of eating very large amounts of food, which the person feels like a loss of control. And then after they eat the food, they feel this big fear and guilt for eating. Normal symptoms is frequent episodes of binge eating and a fear of not being able to stop eating, self-induced vomiting, and habits and rituals of laxatives and anything to basically make you throw up. So this is kind of where you eat so much and you just scarf your food down, and then you feel guilty for doing it, and then you make yourself throw up.
It's really hard.
It's
really
that's a hard one.
That's definitely a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't give too much insight and advice to this just because I don't know enough about it to fully give, my piece of advice. But, if you or someone was dealing with anything like that, be there for them and be a good friend and encourage them and be there by their side to support them and show them that everything is going to be okay, and that there's ways out of the storm. And if you are dealing with anything like this, it's okay to reach out for help. I think that was such an important piece just in my own mental health journey. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength. Because when you ask for help, you can become stronger and you can become your highest self. And I think that's just really important. So I just wanted to give that one.
And it takes time to get there, guys. It's not first notice. You're I didn't eat breakfast. Oh, I didn't eat dinner. Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it on purpose at this point. And you're okay, it's fine though. This is only going to happen for a week. But you're not going to ask for help. You're not going to just be strong and be okay, I'm going to go this. Because some parents don't even believe in mental health. Some parents are just no, you just don't want to eat good food. You don't want to have good nutrition. That's not the case. And that's where we're kind of gonna go into our next one, which is...
I want to make sure I get this right. ARFID, ARFID, which stands for Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. So this is a condition that actually limits food intake. You have a fear or anxiety of food or the consequences of eating food, such as, choking or vomiting. Some of these symptoms can include feeling food before having meals, having no appetite, difficulty paying attention, limiting how much food you eat, only eating certain types of food with specific textures, fear of what can happen after eating, again, such as vomiting or choking. So that's also a really tough one as well.
And this one is honestly harder to get around because it's kind of it kind of feels it's such an anxiety thing and such a fear-rooted thing. It's you're not scared of what your body's going to look like. You're scared if you're going to die or throw everything up, and that's work that you really need to do with your parents and your therapists, and that's a lot of challenges. And having ARFID, I think, is so hard, and it's something that I mean, it deals with work because you can't go your whole life only eating your safety foods. But then we have, I got this wrong when I said it earlier. We have OSFED, other specified feeding or eating disorder. Basically, it's when people have similarities to more or other eating disorders, or they're not or they don't have all of the symptoms. You could be sensitive to comments about food, eating, dieting, excessive or body, you feel kind of really obviously really insecure about your body image, feeling shame or guilt, especially after eating, a lot of anxiety, and irritability coming to meal times, and a lot of issues with looking in the mirror and size and all this stuff. How great. So while talking about that, we can kind of move into my little story time.
Yeah. So you are, being very open and very courageous this episode. So I just want to applaud you for that and give you your props. So you did struggle with OSFED throughout your middle school and high school years, and I wanna dive a little bit deeper into that. What was that journey like for you?
It was I don't even know. I think it was more of, in 7th grade, it was I was just so anxious all the time. I remember it all basically started, it mostly started near the end of 7th grade, let's say. And it started when, this was my first time ever being around boys. And I'm not gonna blame anybody, obviously, it's not their fault. I love them till this day. And this is when the first That Girl Lele cast started getting together. Yay. And we started becoming friends with, a co-ed friend group, which is the cast, and I just got so self-conscious of what I looked like eating, and it wasn't my body, it was what I looked like when I was eating, and I just pictured myself like a pig, shoving food in my mouth. And I remember we hung out with the whole cast for the first time, and I don't know, we hung out with the cast for the first time, and I don't know if we were going to see a movie or if we were just walking around and having fun. But I remember we'd go to either Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we were gonna eat that or eat something else. And I remember my sister puts a plate of mac and cheese in front of me, and I just remember hearing my heart racing and racing and racing. And I'm just staring up at the mac and cheese, and Anna Chris is Mom just paid for that, eat it, eat it, eat it. And I'm just every time she says eat it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger in my face, and I'm just oh my god, get this food out of my face. And it was just more of the fact of just I was if I'm gonna eat something, I'm gonna look in the corner and eat. I didn't even have an appetite at that point. It made me so nauseous. I was disgusting. Get it away from me. And
oh my gosh.
Then I watched the movie Girl Interrupted. We said we're not gonna bring this up for specific reasons. And I just remember, I don't know who said this, but they all went out and for ice cream, and a lady shoved ice cream in someone who has bulimia.
That's
and
horrible.
She goes, "You never put ice cream in a crazy face." And I was just honestly, that's how I felt at that moment. You never want to put food in someone who's struggling right in front of me, and you're just screaming, "Eat it, eat it, eat it." It's just literally, it's just such it's so scary. It makes me literally want to shake, because it's just at that moment, you want to do everything not to eat. At that moment, I literally, my mind's flipped, and I literally went crazy. I was if I could, at that moment, I would flip the food around and be get it away from me. Don't want to eat it, move on. Period, point blank. And it's oh my god, it's just food. Not to me. Not to me, guys.
It has a different meaning to you than maybe some others.
So, that freaked me out. That was, the first time. Then I got home, and I was oh my gosh, I just have social anxiety. I thought that was social anxiety. So then it just continued to grow. And then in 8th grade, we started, this wasn't really a thing for me in 6th grade. In 7th grade, I was homeschooled because of quarantine. You either brought your lunch or you paid for lunch. And the lunch line at my school was so long. So accidentally, it basically helped my eating disorder. It made me stop eating more, because I was I don't want to wait in the line. And then all the guys are watching you eat, and then all the big toxic friend group is watching you eat. But luckily, my first semester of 8th grade, I had the safest friend group ever.
That's awesome.
And I had they were literally my tribe. Our friend group did break up, but we're all good now. So, for a while, like, it was good, it was fine, it was going back and forth, but then anytime I was put back in the situation with, like, the that girl I like cast, I was just like, oh my god, no, I can't do this again. Like, I was just like, I don't want to go to any events, I don't want to eat, like, I'll be like, I'll eat when everyone's gone, or I'll take it up to my room, and I just remember my mom, I think this was more, like, during season 2, I remember my mom, like, telling, Elijah's mom, and I just, like, love Elijah's mom so much, and she was just like, make sure Ashlyn's eat something, like, watch Ashlyn, and girl was on me, like, I love her so much, though, like, she's such a second mom to me, and I love her for that, but it was, like, so, like, it's so, like, oh my gosh, like,
it's a lot to go through,
I know.
especially at a young age, too, because you were
it was, yeah. So in 8th grade, like, it honestly was, like, an on and off thing, but then in 9th grade, that's where it really, like, slapped me in the face. That's kind of where I purposely just stopped eating, and I just was, like, because my dad passed away at the beginning of 9th grade, and obviously I wasn't eating because, like, anxiety and stuff, and, like, you know, you're never really hungry during grief, kind of. And then when I was hungry, because there was so much food in my house. Like, I mean, so much food in my house, and when I was hungry, like, I would shove everything in my mouth and then, like, throw it up after. I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is horrible. Like, I can't. This is, like, disgusting. Like, I can't keep this in my body. Like, I would, like, literally be like, I don't want this. Like, it's you know. And, like, I just felt like fat. It doesn't even matter, like, what food was going into your body, you know. So, like, I have a fear of throwing up, so, like, luckily, like, I never could, like, actually make myself throw up. I, like, refused. I was like, I want to throw it up. Like, I'm going to throw this up. And then, like, I'd be like, no, I can't do it. Like, oh, my gosh, this is horrible. But, so it was, like, a lot of back and forth with that. And then I had trouble with the girls at my school, obviously, in 8th grade. So my friend group in 9th grade, we separated ourselves from those groups. And we went to sit with only boys. And, yes, that sounds pick-me, obviously. But, being at a all boys table, like, let me tell you this now, guys don't care. Obviously, it took me so long to realize, but they don't care. They're wondering why you're not eating your chicken rice bowl that your friends bought for you. So that's literally me. Like, my best friend puts down a chicken rice bowl, and I'm literally just like, you really think I'm gonna eat that? Like, LOL. And also, my best friend, like, didn't even know I had an eating disorder. I don't think anyone at my school did. So I was just like, like, I'm not hungry, like, I just ate at nutrition, yada, yada, yada. Like, at this point, I haven't even brought it up to anyone, and I've been seeing a therapist since 8th grade. So, finally, one day, I just remember my parents have a scale in their bathroom, and I would just run up and down off that scale, and I'd be like, okay, like, it goes up when you have, like, you know, when your clothes are on. So, like, take off all your clothes. Like, look, you should be 115. You should be 110, 110, 110. Always 110. Nothing over 110. 115, that's pushing it. Never be 115.
Oh, my gosh,
it's like, I had to have, like, the most specific weight. Like, it was, like, just such, like, a freaky thing with me. So, then I'm, like, looking, and I'm just, like, making sure. And I remember I was, like, on this scale, and then my mom's like, you have therapy. So I was like, oh. So then I had to tell, like, my therapist at that point, because I was, like, bawling my eyes out, because I was 112, 113, and I was like, this is horrible. And then in volleyball, I was just, like, pushing myself, and I was like, run. Like, I was literally like, girl, run, 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 run. So then it's just, like, it doesn't stop. Then in December, I got a boyfriend. I remember for the first 2 months of our relationship, I did not eat anything in front of me. He was so mad at me for it too. I remember the first time we hung out, I went to his house and I met his mom, and my mom was standing at the door, and she was like, do you want anything to eat? I was like, no, don't worry, I just ate before. Went right upstairs, just sat, watched a movie, whatever. The second time we hung out, I think it was at, like, my house, or we went to a basketball game, and I was just like, he was like, they were all in line getting food. It was like some guys from my school and then him. And he was like, do you want anything? And I was like, no, just Diet Coke. Like, I'm okay. Like, whatever. And then we hung out at my house and we ordered Chick-fil-A. I mean, he ordered me food. It was sitting in front of me. And he took his food and turned around and stared at the wall. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, you don't want to eat in front of me. So I'm going to stand here and you're going to eat. And when you're done, I'll turn around.
I think what's really admirable about that is he noticed.
He noticed.
And he paid attention to you, and he really did care about you, because most people,
They would be
especially
like,
most boys, like, they wouldn't even think twice about that. You know, I think something that's really important to note about eating disorders, and especially the ones that we just mentioned, is that it may not stem from food. It may stem from something deep down underlying, some anxiety or depression that you're going through. So it's important to talk to, a therapist or psychiatrist or a doctor, and someone who can help you really get to the root of that problem so you can identify it and grow from that. So I did a little poll on Instagram, so we have some questions from the audience. The first one is, how can an eating disorder affect your mental health? It's a really good question.
So I don't know if you've heard of the term hangry, but basically,
I get hangry.
Yeah, me too. When you don't eat that much, it affects your mood and your like brain and how you think. Food is literally nutrition. It's like a battery source to you. So you need food to function. So if you don't have food, your body shuts down and you basically kind of like die, like you're killing yourself every single day. So it affects your mental health by slowly shutting down your body, which slowly shuts down your brain, and then you stop caring for yourself with basic stuff like hygiene, makeup, making your bed, cleaning your room, anything like that. So that's a way that it affects your mental health.
Every single day, your body is changing. Every hour, it's going to look different. And I think that's what made me realize that each and every one of us are beautiful just the way we are. And we don't have to be self-conscious about our bodies because we were made perfectly just the way we are. And I think that's something really, really important to stress. So I hope all of you feel encouraged by this. And we want to let you know that we're here for you and that you are loved and beautiful no matter what.
100%.
Inside and out.
Inside and out.
And I think also a part of having an eating disorder is, it comes from a root of speaking negatively of yourself and believing these lies about yourself.
Or hearing it from
other people. And that can have huge effects on your mental health. And it can completely change your mindset and make you believe something that isn't even the slightest bit true.
Yes.
And then the next question is, can eating disorders take a while to heal from? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
They
takes
can
so long.
Take a lot of time. And for instance, my mom, it took a while for her to heal from her eating disorder. But I will say, at the end of the storm, there's always a rainbow. And I believe that because she was able to come out of that and it made her a stronger person. She actually became a Pilates instructor so that she could help other people prioritize their physical health, but mainly their mental health, because that's where physical health comes from. And that's something that's really important in our family, is eating healthy and, finding the balance of, eating healthy, but also enjoying your favorite foods and having some ice cream every now and then. But something we really prioritize is eating healthy for our minds and working out for our minds. Not just for our bodies, but firstly for our minds.
And also, just to let you guys know, also an eating disorder, it's harm to your body. So your body has to heal. It's just like a scar. It has to heal from the scar. You have to gain back everything that you lost and everything that was taken out of your body or starved or dehydrated. You need to gain it back. So don't feel bad if you're healing from an eating disorder and it's not going the best. It's going to take some time.
Give yourself grace when you're going through that journey. Every person is going to go through a different form of that, and it may take different amounts of time. So give yourself time.
Yes, give yourself time and grace. And we just want to say again, thank you guys so much for sitting here with us and listening to us talk and hearing our voices once again.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. And I'm proud of our listeners if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, because this was challenging. But you did it. And it's an important thing to talk about. So I'm really, really proud of you guys.
And that's why we're here. And that's why it says, let's talk about it on this poster.
Absolutely. And we just want to give a huge shout out to NVCS for helping us record this podcast. We love you guys so much. Thank you for the work that you're doing in our community to support the community around us and the teens as well. So
we love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it or any of the advice we gave, please tune in to this next episode. Always remember, you're never alone. Call 988 for help and support.